because we have other people represented, and I want to give you a chance, your brother, a chance to talk. Miss Hughes, y'all's teacher, had a question for you, Dylan. How about them Lions?
I
Let's
mean,
go ahead and move on to
what
the
the?
Green Bay Packers. Go ahead, buddy.
I, I mean, the Packers played 4 games so far. We've played games without our number one wide receiver, without Aaron Jones. David Bakhtiari is out for the year because, I mean, when has he's not been out
Again,
for the year?
I
This
was
is
Yeah.
about
the
to
third
say,
straight year he's been out for the year with the same knee injury.
wow.
Um, Devondre Campbell was out. Rashawn Gary's still on limited snaps. Jair Alexander's been out. Uh, who else was injured?
Did he freeze?
Pretty great. Oh,
Yep.
and Zach Tom was injured. Carrington Valentine was injured, who was a replacement for Jair Alexander. Eric Stokes is still on the pup list. Luke Musgrave got hurt in the Lions game. AJ Dillon just sucks, so we'll count him as an injury.
What about Quay Walker?
He might have an IQ in the negatives with the stuff he does. But uh,
Yeah, you don't have that football
but I
IQ.
mean, so far we started off week one. We started that off strong. Had a great defensive performance. I mean, we played an XFL team, so it was pretty much like practice for the season. But I mean, we looked good. Week two, our first half, we looked really good. And then the second half, we had 8 total yards of offense or something like that. We somehow made Desmond Ritter look good,
Yeah,
which I mean, if we looked at today,
weren't you?
that's
You were up like 24-12 in that game.
and the fourth quarter, and then they gave the ball to Bijan Robinson, and the Packers' run defense was like the Packers' run defense. And we had Darnell Savage doing a Spider-Man pose, trying to tackle Bijan. It was bad. Then week three, we went from having the
Oh,
worst second half I've seen the Packers play in a long time to the worst first half I've seen the Packers play in a long time. Down 17-0. Jordan Love had like
yeah.
a 40% completion percentage. Then uh, came out in the second half, went huge. Romeo Dobbs looks like a number one wide receiver. He's had three straight amazing games. He's had some great catches. Jaden Reed had he struggled a bit against the Saints, but had that diving catch, got us into field goal range. So I mean, the Packers' second half when that 17-0 comeback, that looked really good. But then
That was great.
went in Thursday with the entire team hurt. So we still expected to do something. Got an interception to start, got a field goal, and then just went downhill from there. And at the end of the first half, we were down. Was it 27-3, 24 to
Mhm.
3? No, it was the six. It was this. I know it was a 16-point game. Was it? No, we're
Yeah.
down 24-3, and we scored 2 touchdowns. But we were down 24-3, and I went and I was talking to my friends. I said, "The Packers win this game, I will adopt a child." And then they went out first 2 drives, touchdown, stop, touchdown. So I got been scared for a second, but then Quay Walker did his thing. The Lions
Quay
looked
Walker
really
did it to
good.
Quay Walker.
Oh
But the
god,
Lions looked really good. They
who
killed us
doesn't
in
do that?
everything. David Montgomery had 3 touchdowns. Jameer Gibbs is a glorified water boy. So good job. They spent the first round pick on
Yeah.
him.
What happened? They drafted this guy, and then Montgomery takes over for Gibbs. Gibbs is. I feel for Gibbs,
Well,
man. I had a friend that
you
got
know
him
how
on fantasy. I was like,
his
ah,
his position is RB, but people think that stands for running back. It actually stands for right bench. So if you look at like if you actually know like how to read the Lions depth chart, you'll see it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
no.
But the Lions have the 3-1, beat the Chiefs, beat us. Who else they beat? They killed another team.
Mm.
And
Was
they
it the
lost to
Bears?
Seattle. That was their only loss.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
they lost to Seattle.
They lost in Seattle in overtime.
Who they beat though? They beat who's that other team?
The Chiefs.
Oh, they beat the Falcons. They
Yeah.
beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
Falcons.
Anybody can beat the
26.
Falcons.
We can't.
No, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I feel for you on that one. Mm, mm. Yeah, so I mean, look, let's talk real quick about your quarterback because I was one to talk smack about him, and say he's not it. Over 900 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions thus far in the season. You're 2-2. I mean, did you expect this? Is it safe to say you expected to start decent like
I
this?
think there's a lot of clips of me saying that Jordan Love was going to be at least a top 15 quarterback this year, and he's come out. He's
Still a
shown
stretch.
that I was right. I mean,
It's just a
the
stretch.
highest
It's the
pass
first 4 games.
highest passer rating in the league through the first
Oh,
3 weeks.
good God.
And he's doing this with like two and a half,
without Aaron Jones, without
with
Christian
like two and a
Watson,
half
without David
weapons.
Bakhtiari, without Ellison Jenkins, with Josh
It's
Myers, who does not have enough brain cells to play center.
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's Romeo Dubs and a bunch of scrubs.
Jaden Reed's look good. Dontavion Wicks has looked good. UVA player. H.A. Dillon kind of might need to get cut, to be honest. Emmanuel Wilson's looked good out of Fort Valley State. So I mean,
What is
the
a
Packers
Fort
they
Valley
don't
State?
have the best supporting.
I mean, you're not
for
running the
Jordan.
ball.
Well, AJ Dillon averages 2.5 yards a carry. There's no
What
reason
happened to
run the ball.
Thigh Man? Did his thighs just fall off? What happened to him?
But our biggest problem on our defense has the most talent that we've ever had. Rashawn Gary looks like top 5 edge rusher in the league. Quay Walker, when he's not doing dumb stuff, has been a top 5 inside linebacker. Devondre Campbell's still pretty good, even if he's regressed a bit since 2 years ago. Jair's number 1 corner in the league. Darnell Savage has turned it back around from his bad season last year. And Rasul Douglas has like 2 picks this year. He's had a good season. It's just the fact that we have this dude named Joe Barry as our defensive coordinator, who, first off, was the defensive coordinator for the 0-16 Lions, which is which is quite possibly the worst defense in NFL history. And yet he somehow still has a defensive coordinator job.
Hey, at least he had NFL experience. I mean, our offensive coordinator didn't have any NFL experience other than being a quarterbacks coach that was hated by our Hall of Fame quarterback. So, at least he had experience.
Joe Barry loves this
Little bit.
Let's see. We've got Jair Alexander, Keyshawn Nixon, Rasul Douglas, and Eric Stokes. Four of the top 15 fastest cornerbacks in the NFL. All superstar man coverage players. Not a good zone. And then Joe Barry goes, all right, everyone's really good at man coverage, but we're not great at zone coverage. Let's run zone blitzes the entire year. So we have Preston. I was talking about last year. We had Preston Smith on Justin Jefferson for 30% of the plays. If not, Preston Smith is our edge rusher, and on 30% of offensive plays for the Vikings, he was guarding Justin Jefferson. So I think that's a pretty big problem if you would talk to anyone, considering Justin Jefferson might be the best best offensive player in the league besides Patrick Mahomes. So with Joe Barry's whole defensive scheme, I mean, Kenny Clark and Devontae Wyatt each have looked really good. Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith, Lucas Van Ness all look good.
I haven't seen Lucas Van Ness. I've been looking for him, and I haven't
He has 2.5 sacks this year.
Oh,
he's had a good season, but he's not playing every down because Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary.
Yeah,
and he's also dealt with an elbow injury. So I mean, that's another player that's injured. Just to add to that list.
Do you think Lucas Van Ness is still worth taking over any of those wide receivers you could have taken?
I mean, all the wide receivers have looked not great this year.
I mean, Jordan Addison's looked pretty good.
Yeah, but everyone wanted to take JSN, and JSN has.
Well, I mean, JSN also has to share snaps with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not like any of them are having good seasons. He could be the number 1 guy. It's just
it's not as much on him; it's more on Geno.
Yeah, Geno's kind of gone back to
Geno. He had one good year.
We thought he was right.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's starting to right back.
No. Geno Smith is going right back to Jets. Geno Smith.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
I mean,
all right. So who do you have? Who do you guys have coming up?
We have. Give me a sec. I was just on it.
We have the Ravens.
We have the Raiders next week. Got the Raiders who might not have Garoppolo.
And the Broncos.
Yeah, then the Broncos who look bad. Then the 1-4 Vikings. Then the Rams. Then the Steelers. So that is
then
5
Pittsburgh.
games where we're most likely going to be favored. Then we got the Chargers, probably going to be favored in that, and then we go Thanksgiving at the line.
Want to see how screwed the Steelers are in our next few weeks? We play the Ravens next week.
Yeah.
We play the Ravens.
Oh.
Then we have our bye. Then we play the Rams, and then the Jaguars, and then the Titans, and then the Packers, and then the Browns, and the Bengals, and then in Week 13 we play the Cardinals. We have a very good chance at going 2-whatever up until we play the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, this was the game you guys were supposed to win today, wasn't it? Oh, God. I feel for you, man. I really do. I genuinely do, because I'm looking at the schedule, too, and it's just not looking good for y'all.
I think we start selling out. We start selling some certain – I think we trade Deontay Johnson. I'm going to just put that out there.
What if you trade all your pieces to the Bears so they're decent, and then you can get Caleb Williams next year?
Yeah.
No, but if they trade to the
you gotta
Bears,
go somewhere.
I would kill for a quarterback.
Whenever the Steelers trade people to the Bears, they just get asked to not play. So.
That is true. Thank you for Joey Porter Jr., Chicago. Cool. Thank you.
Cool.
I know Nick is feeling right now.
Enjoy that.
There's nothing more Steelers drafting an egotistical maniac wide receiver. It's what the Steelers do.
Yeah.
They drafted Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool.
Mm-hmm.
They're really
what are all them doing right now? What are they all doing right now?
Apparently Juju still plays in the league.
Oh yeah, he was playing tonight. He was
Yeah, he was on the Patriots.
I mean, McCorkle did get benched. So he's not like he's had the best quarterback.
I didn't see that. I did not watch any of the afternoon games today because I quit after the Steelers.